Okay, we're back again. I was delayed. I'm here, okay? I got the cards ready. I had a quick drink. Now we're here to do the read. So we're going to cover the Virgo energy for July, and this will be all the way through. All the other videos I will do live, and that will be for the twin flame path, anything astrologically speaking that comes up, I'll bring that for you guys. And then August will be all systems go. And there's going to be other videos I'm going to be doing for your chakras, for the numerology, for the planets and how they interlink into the chakras for you and how to balance them, as well as how to make twin flame candles. So if you are a twin flame, subscribe and you get to watch those videos and you'll get a notification. If you're wanting to make a booking, the link is below. As well as we're going to look at the Cancer energy for the eclipse, regardless of the fact for many of us, yes, that point has merged, but the energy is still going to be relevant for the rest of the month, midpoint. And it's making this interesting conversation between the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. So regardless, it's still relevant, whatever time this comes up. The overall energy at the moment coming through. Now, this is past tense frequency, reflection, looking back, something that potentially could be coming up. Could be a third-party situation. Although it's not the third-party energy card, this is what's coming through to me. It can be upset connected to, you investing in situations and they're not quite coming about due to interference. And again, it depends on what's coming up in your actual chart, for you and what you're dealing with on the 3D at the moment. So this is the crowning energy of what's coming through. So it can be that you've experienced a dynamic in the past that potentially could be triggering you. It can be something physically that you're meditating upon at the moment, but you're moving away from that energy. Even if it is past tense frequency, it's the past. This could be the person coming back from the past that perhaps walked away. You're not going to be sad about this, okay? Because your frequency is shifting and changing. I feel at the moment you're going through deep reflection and meditation. If you're all of a sudden feeling quite fatigued, which just before tuning into your energy, Virgo, I was feeling you were overdoing things, that you perhaps were spreading yourself too thin and trying to get too many things done. And especially for feminine energies for the last 3 weeks, potentially, I feel that's really relevant. Masculines also have been doing this as well. So it's still going to be relevant for both parties. You've got the Four of Swords, okay? So overdoing things, having some time to recoup, and you're very much guided to. For the first 2 weeks, potentially, of July, it may feel a bit slower. The downloads will be quick and the trigger points can be quick, but again, it's like taking it easy, taking it slow, being gentle with yourself through this transition. What is coming through for that is something new's coming. So a new way of being, an old way is going by the wayside and a new way is coming in. So a new theme of a storyline is coming through for you guys. Your outcome card is the World, which when we look at the tarot, when it gets to this point, it's almost ending a cycle. You're going to be happy about this. So something, in a sense, is tying up. It's outside of your control, but it's also for your benefit. And I'm hoping this is hitting and you understand what I'm talking about. Because with the Cancer energy of what might be coming through, again, this has been coming through in a theme. So for each zodiac sign, it's going to be relevant in some shape or form. Obviously, because the Cancer eclipse has passed already, the energy for that is still relevant. It's past tense frequency as well as moving forward frequency. And we feel the energy for 6 months either side, okay, either side of the fence. So it's tying that cycle up, creating and resetting a new one. With the full moon, it's tying the beginning of the year out, as well as moving into, they say, a 6-month cycle, but this one's actually going to be a 1-year transition. So whatever's ending out of those old storylines, you're gradually putting the pieces of the puzzle into a whole. It's not going to make sense at the beginning of the month for you in your life, and that's for everyone. It's around the date of an anniversary, birthday, or celebration. Something's going to come up. It can be around an event that this starts transpiring. The karmic energy connected to this is the Page of Coins. So something you've been working on. You are really the beginning stages of it, so to speak, in a psychic download. That's what I'm getting. hope in it, regardless of whatever is going on, what you're leaving behind. If you can purge it, what's coming in is going to be so much better, but it feels like a squeezing effect and you are fatigued from this. There's communication also coming through, as well as hope connected to this, okay? With the Capricorn frequency, 2 cards fell out and 2 cards fell out. So there can be 4 energies you're dealing with. When we get to the point of the Capricorn eclipse, more's going to make sense, but it's days after the fact. It can also be moving into August, but it feels as though you're going to start really gaining more clarity by this point, and there's going to be a reshift around that time. With the 2 cards that fell out, you've got a fresh start coming in, okay? So this could be, especially with Libra being Libra, with the energy of Venus moving towards the eclipse. It's in Cancer, but it's amping up a notch as it moves into that. So, and this is why we're saying around this time, it is a karmic end, right? It's a karmic cycle, closing out of chapters and things that haven't been moving. We've been working towards common themes and goals. We were very dense in the 3D, getting things done, tying up loose ends. You've got to look at the personality traits of Cancer and Capricorn. A lot of those things all of us collectively were taking on, and it's shifting it. So anything from January onwards that you've been working towards can be your finances, can be your home. A lot of base chakra has been coming up. A lot of the assets have been dealt with, where you're changing the way you're operating. And with the retrograde cycle, what does tend to happen, those things you were working on, the flaws and the plans will be shown. It can take longer to achieve, but it's a slingshot effect. So what you're going to have, especially moving into August with Lionsgate portal, is even the baby steps you're taking, even having recuperation time, is all for the bigger picture. So trust in the process, but this fresh start's coming. You don't want to be foolish, okay? So it might be you feel a little bit more rebellious around this time. It may be trigger points coming up. It might be, I just want this to get on, show on the road, okay? The clarification for this is home in reverse. You may feel that in some sense of an environment, you're not quite feeling home. And it's similar to a spiritual walk-in, because what happens is you energetically have changed and your soul's ready for that transition. But the 3D nature of it can be very dense and you're not feeling quite comfortable in that frequency. So it's going to come up. It can be base chakra related or an external environment. It can be some of you not wanting to move home, going through a transition. Others of you, it may be a non-home environment that's coming up and it's very external or directly just internal to you. You might feel really stuck as well because you've got journey in reverse. Although there is movement forward, you're actually looking at everything and maybe getting some psychic downloads and going, this isn't boding well. I need to shift the way I'm moving. The karmic frequency connected to this, it's interesting. It's like, for your reading somehow, it's light and it's dark when it comes to the 2 eclipses, which seems odd. That's all I can say. Because what's coming up for the Cancer energy is, you know, it's a beginning state, which it is theoretically, because you had your intentions of what you were wanting. With the new moon energy, it is about the manifestation. But we were feeling almost like we were doing it the polar opposite, which is the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn are looking at each other. They're bouncing that energy back and forward at each other. So it does sort of make sense, because you're doing something on this side, but you're also in your mind's eye thinking, how is that possible because of X, Y, and Z? When it comes to the clarity you gain by the Capricorn eclipse, be cautious with this energy. Don't be delusional with the Neptune frequency because you're in your higher consciousness. Keep the fluids up, okay? With it, what you're going to find when you're seeing the 7s, and 7s has been coming up, plus this month is 7. 7s in numerology, and when you're seeing dual 7, 777, it's got 2 meanings. Are you keeping your thoughts positive? If you're not, you're manifesting that, and it's coming to the surface to be shown to you for you to detach so you don't co-create that. It can be also connected to finances and things you're investing in, and disillusionment connected to that. especially with Neptune retrograde. It's not, although it's the planet of delusions and illusions, it's also the inventor. But with the 7, be cautious what you're investing in. I think the real key to it is don't spread yourself too fine, and that came through in the previous read. Because you can avoid misfortune if you gain the clarity before proceeding forward. And I do feel there's many ways this can go. If you're only living in the past, it will affect you moving into the future. But be decisive about what you want to move towards, even if you're picking up the vibration of fear. Because we're really having to move through a lot of fear-based frequency to achieve our ultimate goal, even if we don't know how this is going to be. Having faith in the process. At the heart of your love is there could be an imbalance, injustice, and you're trying to tie this up. And it can be due to an external party with conflict with this person, or the internal conflict that you've got on your side or they have on their side. On your side of the fence, Virgo, again, you grasp the reasons why these things are happening, but the empath side of you could be leaving you feel sort of hot and cold. And when I'm saying hot and cold, there is a maturity coming through, and it could be due to a child-related dynamic, especially with the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn. Cancer is all about family, home, base chakra, you know, your psyche, the feminine energy. So there can be a third-party energy, and it doesn't have to be there directly with them. But it could also be if you're partnered with a person that has a child. If you're understanding the pain body experience that this person physically is having due to their childhood, because you've been through that yourself. The empath aspect of you, I'm cautioning you, you know, if you have the empath aspect coming up for you, try and take the mirror and bring it back to self to anchor that energy in. Have the belief that this situation can evolve, but try not to tune in how it's going to be, or how frightening it might be, or what the result is going to be, because until the end of the month, nothing is set in stone. It can be that you're in a partnership with a child, and, you know, you're seeing everyone's side of the story, but it's directly impacting you, especially with the ascension symptoms that you're having in the fatigue, okay? On their side of the fence, how they're feeling, like at times they're in a similar headspace as you. So they get to a point where they're proceeding forward, and then they're getting quite tired. They may not even be communicating this truth to you, and they feel quite stuck, like they can't do as much as they'd like to do. Some of it is outside of their hands. They're doing the best they can. They're going to realise through this transit that they have more power, and somehow they're taking their power back because they've got the Magician. This can be in a creative venture, and it also could be connected to a child, especially when we're seeing pages. There could be an announcement for some of you that there is a child, and it doesn't have to be directly you, or it might be a brand new beginning you're having in this connection. You can be quite conflicted by some of the things you're hearing, feeling, sensing. But you're trying to get out of your head about it, and you're trying to free yourself from it. So some of you are wanting to free yourself from a vibration that doesn't feel fun. Some of you may feel, you know, with the assessment state of this situation, it's not boding well. Others of you are like, okay, I'm grasping the reasons why. I'm having the empath aspect. But, you know, with Venus being in Cancer, it's almost like, how would I put it? The balance within that, and the balance of give and take, the balance of your soul love versus tribe, you know, and trying to keep that in a very balanced sense. It can be a more social time, even though I feel personally there might be a lot coming at you. You may not be feeling that vibe, so to speak, because of the astrology in an abundant way, and your finances and the things you're directly investing in. The card that you've got is the Tower in reverse. It is going to be a change for the better in this area. And I do feel as though you have other things going on. So the delay is pushing you forward. This can be connected to a romantic interest or moving towards something that you love is going to bode well at a financial level. Investing in the things and prioritizing your needs, wants, and desires are key. You know this. You already know this, okay? So it's not something you don't know. You're hearing it in your psyche, but you're having to address it for those of you who are stuck. In a work-related domain or something you're working towards, you've got the Ace of Wands in reverse. So, you know, there might be delays, or you might be on holiday. It may be also due to the Cancer eclipse, that lag-on effect that you're temporarily having till we transfer over to the Capricorn frequency with the eclipse. So there could be a slight delay in anything you're working towards, but it's there to help you meditate, because you might be having second thoughts about something. If work in general is flowing, you know, for some of you, you might feel, I can't work here anymore, or do I work on this, or is this going to come to a close? It's saying yes, but you're going to gain clarity by the time we hit the Capricorn frequency. It's giving you both sides of the story, though. You're not going to be sad, okay? So whatever's going to come through in this position for you, it's going to turn out better than you thought. You're just not seeing it just yet. Now, with your tribe, your family, and the people you're interacting with, again, there can be some hasty energies around at the moment. I feel you're picking up on these energies, so it might be that you're going into hermit mode. It may be that you're keeping back through this and really just focusing on love, focusing on the things that you directly love, focusing on your partnerships, your career, the connection that you love, and anchoring your energy in. But there can also be two energies that you're looking at, and you're hoping, really, I do feel the key to it is moving towards the Capricorn frequency, because as we progress in the month, we've got the symbol in the middle, which is really showing me that this is about the eclipse. By the second eclipse, I do feel as though something's changing, but you're choosing to move your energy towards people, places, and things that are higher vibration, to avoid the conflict, because you can sense this coming. With the unseen, and this can also be, I'm really feeling you guys are intuitively feeling those things. So again, ascension symptoms. I always see this card as ascension symptoms. So you get the download. It can be the tower moment. It can be the things changing, the people's vibrations, and it's overwhelming, okay? It can be something that you've been dealing with emotionally, has been super overwhelming, and it's coming up again. Or it can be something comes out of left field and it's like, wow, I did not see that coming. You may feel let down, okay? Some of you, I really feel this is not even about you. I feel this is a surrounding environment that you're going to witness, you're going to hear. This could directly impact you in a legality way, but I'm feeling this is external. I don't feel this is directly connected to you, but I feel you're going to witness it, hear it, or experience it, because I do feel you're in hermit mode to a degree. Any questions? Yeah, whoever this is, be it you or another person, you won't be prepared, but it's happening for a reason. Trust in the process. Why is it happening? For a reason. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? You're doing the right thing. If you guys have chosen to step back to watch something play out, it's because you're making the correct judgment in a download, because you got the Hermit card, and I did mention Hermit card before it popped out. Because something hasn't, it's telling you, go into Hermit mode, step back, let this play out. If you're in a connection and you can see how something's going to go, and this come up 3 weeks ago in a psychic download, it's like, because the one thing, I think I posted it on Facebook, it was like, why does this happen? You know, spiritually and psychically, you know, quite intuitive, and especially empaths, you're quite intuitive. So you can foresee something, and in the beginning stages of your spiritual awakening, you tend to enable people, because you're like, what are you doing, man? You know, what are you doing? And then you evolve and you realize you can lead a horse to water, you can't make a drink. And then you're like, yeah, if somebody had told me this, I wouldn't have listened, because there are some things you must experience. There are reasons why, because it transforms you. Otherwise, you can approach the situation from various angles. You get the same bloody outcome, and you're like, right, universe, give me a hand. This isn't resolving. Jesus, take the wheel. Sort this out, okay? Example. sometimes the tower moments are necessary for that person to take their power back. This can be for people, places, and things. Trust that what's going on needs to happen. If you're guided to step back and watch it, do so, because this is really coming through in the read. Any questions? Yeah. Well done. No drama, Luciana. I knew you'd understand what it was meaning. I was thinking about you yesterday. I have been super busy. I feel like a headless chick at the moment. I'm trying not to let you guys down. I'm doing the best, but I'm human. So I'm all good with that. Everything's divinely guided. It comes at the correct time. I've got Capricorn next to do, but I have to get paperwork in for the kids' school, my daughter's school. Otherwise, I won't get it in for the school holidays, and she'll have no school to go to. So I will be back. I'm going to do my best to finish these today. I'm going to do my best. And I have a reading tonight. I've got major transitions happening over the next 2 weeks, but I'm still going to be live. You can't get rid of me. Thank you, Andrew. I love you, Andrew. Thank you. I love my New Zealand tribe. Yeah, I'm getting the garden done and, you know, still transitioning through between 2 locations. When you're thinking of money, okay, especially with anything, detach, okay? My strongest advice is need is lack. Look at it as a problem, okay? And then look at universe and go, right, I don't know where it's coming from. It's going to be fine. And detach. And once you do, money from somewhere comes. Trust me on that. When I moved, I didn't have time to do readings. I didn't have time to have as much as a presence, and I couldn't be 10 people. So you take what it is and you get to a point, because, you know, third eye is, Tesla explains it. Basically, some of the methods that they have for manifestation don't work, okay? Tesla really didn't have a relationship. He was highly psychic, highly intuitive. You alchemize that in a belief system of the laws of attraction. So when you're triggered and you're going, oh, I need this, I need that, it's lack thereof, okay? And some of us, this transit, have been in that lack thereof. We're human, it's natural. When you're like, wow, I've thought about it, I processed it, how could I solve this scenario? That's the problem.